So we're going to go ahead and kick things off right here. We're going to go ahead and talk about Raw and SmackDown very quick. I'm not going to go too much detail. I'll go more detail on SmackDown just because I have SmackDown more in my mind right now. It's more fresh. I'll just tell you right now, Raw is dumb as always. It's Raw is still dumb. I would say at least they kind of change these up with the Bobby Lashley Drew McIntyre match. At least they're adding Braun Strowman to the mix, make it a triple threat for the WWE Championship. So this is something different. But I could give two shits about Strowman. Let's be honest. His momentum died the moment he got tag teamed with the Kid at WrestleMania. The minute that happened, his career died. It was never the same. I know he won the Universal Championship and all that, but let's be honest, it doesn't mean jack. Like, it really doesn't mean jack. So, Strowman and McIntyre went to have a tag team match against Dijakovic and Dio Men. And, of course, they're arguing, and Braun Strowman goes, you know what, Drew? I don't trust you. I'm going to show you that I'm capable of doing this by myself. I'm going to take them both on in a handicap match. What a dumbass. So he goes up there in a handicap match and he seems to be doing well until his opponents, Madden and Dijakovic, come out and they just attack him and get themselves DQ. McIntyre comes out, they have an improv tag into a tag team match. Great. And what happened? The result ended in a countout victory. So basically all they did here was the exact same thing like they did last week in the tag team match, except if a DQ, they won by countout, and instead of starting off with Drew, they start off with Strowman and then made it to a tag team match. I think you gotta understand one of the big problems with Raw. It's fucking repetitive. How is this creative? Well, we all know the one man to blame for this, but whatever, I don't care. So after that, Drew, during the match, actually accidentally knocked down Braun Strowman with a clothesline. And Strowman blamed Drew. Like he did on purpose. So he slammed Drew McIntyre. And afterwards, Drew went up to Adam Pearce and demanded a match with Strowman. Which I don't think we've seen Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman yet. I don't think we've had. I could be wrong. So the main event comes at Strowman and Drew McIntyre. But Braun said he'd love to fight Drew under one condition. If he beats Drew, he wants to be added into the WWE title match. Which, spoiler. So they have a match. Braun and Drew have a match. A pretty good match. Nothing amazing or anything, but pretty good for a Raw main event. Lashley was out there along with MVP. MVP looked like he was trying to distract Braun Strowman because he doesn't want Lashley to be involved in a triple threat match. Because he knows Lashley could lose the title without being pinned. But meanwhile, looks like Drew's about to win the title, or not win the title, but win the match and keep it 1-1 until Dio Man and Donta Dijakovic come out. And they distracted Drew long enough for Braun Strowman to hit the power slam and get the win. Like I said, I'm not going to really talk about Raw. I mean, first of all, the Raw Tag Team Champions have not been on TV. The Women's Tag Team Division is dead. Charlotte returned. Like, seriously. Like, is anybody really surprised that Charlotte came back? Oh, she's suspended now. Now she's back. 1 week later. My God, this is John Cena from 2010 with the Nexus angle. My God. But, so yeah, Strowman ended up winning though, so now it'll be Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. I do think Bobby Lashley is going to retain the championship. I do think it's still too soon. I'm not really the biggest Bobby Lashley fan. I've never really been the biggest fan of his. But look, these are the best thing he's done in WWE thus far in his career. He's a believable champion, and it's just too soon to take the belt off of him. Maybe give him a few more months, maybe at least until SummerSlam, and I have him drop the belt then. But making this a triple threat, at least it makes it semi-fresh with Strowman and now McIntyre with Lashley. At least it's not McIntyre Lashley again. Let's be honest, a lot of people were probably going to be sick to their stomach. So at least it freshens things up. It's not the best idea in the world, but it's neither the worst. It's not the worst, and it could be a fun match. I think it's going to be a full-out, just like destructive powerhouse match. So I can't really complain too much. At least it's something different. But like I said, the build to this and Raw itself, like there's really nothing to talk about. It's just the same old repetitive, dull, uninspiring Raw. But like I said, at least the triple threat match is going to keep things interesting, at least for the WWE title picture scene. We move on to Smackdown, which is more fresh in my mind. 1,000 times better show. I'm not going to go through every single moment. Well, I'll kind of brush through some of the stuff. So we open up with Bianca Belair and Street Profits taking on Bayley and the Dirty Dogs. That's Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode. Solid tag team, 6-man tag team match. So not too bad. Fun little opener there. Nothing highly special. But Montez Ford does that amazing frog splash. I mean, he might have the best frog splash, not just currently, but maybe of all time. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Just the height and the velocity he gets off that frog splash. I'm a big RVD fan. A Guerrero will always be one of my all-time favorites. But my God, that just the airtime on that frog splash is something to see. You have to just see to believe. It's awesome. We get Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio at backstage interview. They're talking about how they want to become the first father-son tag team champion. So it looks like, well, the Street Profits did win the tag team match, 6-man tag team match for their team. So it looks like Street Profits might fight the Dirty Dogs at Backlash, but they could always insert Rey Mysterio and Dominic, or they could do Street Profits versus the Mysterios next week. And the winners go on to fight the Dirty Dogs at Backlash. I could see something like that happening. Speaking of next week, we are actually going to get an old school WWE show. Yes, they're bringing back an old school vibe. I'm assuming they're bringing back an old school set back in the day from the 90s. So it's going to be very interesting. I don't think we've had a Raw or SmackDown as an old school in a while, it feels like. I don't think we've gotten one in a long time. And I think this might be the first for a SmackDown. So it's going to be pretty cool. If they bring back the Giant Fist, that's going to be awesome. Please bring back the Giant Fist. I missed the old SmackDown 2002 to 2004-5 stage with the Giant Fist. I miss those days. That stage will always be the best SmackDown stage. In my opinion, anyway. So then we go on. We got, I guess, a tag team match for women's tag team titles. I did not give two shits, but I guess Tamina and Natalya won. So it looks like we're getting a women's tag team title match involving them. I'm already done with seeing Nia Jax. Can we get Shayna Baszler away from Nia Jax? Please? Please and thank you. This is just sad. Poor Shayna. I'm trying to think what else. So we have the Intercontinental Championship. We have Apollo Crews defending against Big E. Again, another pretty solid, good match. These two work pretty well with each other. A lot of near falls, a lot of countering. But at the end of the day, though, Apollo Crews ended up retaining the Intercontinental Championship when Babadook, or whatever his name is, General Aziz, I think they call him. Baba Kato, former Baba Kato. I'm just going to call him Baba Kato until I get his other name right. So Baba Kato came out and he ended up attacking Big E. So he ended disqualification. And out comes Kevin Owens because Kevin doesn't forget. He comes out to attack Babadook, or God damn it, Baba Kato. I'm just going to call him General. So he attacks General. Because remember, Kevin doesn't forget what happened last week, and Big E starts piling on him, and looks like they're, doing well for themselves until Sami Zayn, or I like to call him Big Larry. If any of you get that reference, you're the best. But Sami Zayn comes out, Haluva kicks Kevin Owens, and Gerald and Apollo go out and attack Big E. And they're celebrating, but Sami Zayn ends up picking the Intercontinental Championship in the corner, looking at it. He's like, hey, we're cool. I'm going to give this tile back to you, Apollo. He hands the tile back, and he's acting like he's on the team, but then gets a Nigerian nail right to the throat, or a Samoan spike by the general. So it looks like at Backlash, we could be getting a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash between Apollo Crews, Big E, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. I think if you give those guys enough time, that could be a very fun fatal four-way. And I will give WWE one big credit. They're at least making the Intercontinental Championship mean something again. Let's think about this. The Intercontinental Championship has flown, just been barely treading water for many years. And sometimes it dies. Like, it's just irrelevant. At least we're doing something with the Intercontinental Championship now. At least they're including a feud. They're including multiple storylines, all involving the Intercontinental Championship. They're trying to make that title seem important again. So I am going to give WWE credit, at least on that part. I will give them credit on that. I'm trying to think what else. I can't really remember what else happened. I think that might have been it in terms of matches. I could be missing something. Oh, we got Aleister Black promo thing. I have no idea what this librarian gimmick might be. I have no idea. I don't know if this guy's supposed to be like a rejected Harry Potter character that became a priest. I have no fucking idea. I'm very iffy on this. We also did get Seth Rollins and Cesaro. That's going to happen next week. They announced that. Seth Rollins was doing an interview, asking his prediction for Bryan and Reigns in the main event for Universal Championship, and he said, like, I'm picking Daniel Bryan to win. But before then, he said that he wants to challenge Cesaro to a match next week, which of course Cesaro later on accepted. Now we get on to the main event. The Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. And if Bryan loses, he will be banned from Smackdown forever. Roman Reigns has officially have brand new music. I do not know what to make of this music. It sounds very generic. It doesn't really do anything for me. The opening part, with the whole choir, and you think, oh, this is going to be epic. And then it just becomes just generic music. No lyrics or anything. It's just, I don't know what it is. It just, when I hear that music and I see Roman come out, it doesn't fit with me. I don't know what it is. It just, maybe I need to listen to it a few more times, but when I first heard it, it didn't sound right. I personally just don't care for it. I just think it sounds generic. Maybe if they add at least lyrics to it, it might be better, but as it stands right now, to me, it's not that good of a theme. It's better than Adam Cole's new theme, I'll tell you that right now. Adam Cole might have the worst theme right now with that generic music. I really hope Adam Cole's music gets fixed. But anyways, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, and this was strictly one-on-one. Paul Heyman was out there, but this was a straight one-on-one match. There's no Cesaro, there's no Jey Uso until after the match. And these two went out there and had the type of match you think they would. They had a great match, Roman Reigns is selling, Bryan being the submission specialist and the striker that he is. Roman Reigns being the powerhouse brawler that he is. These two just have great chemistry. They really do. And I'm really happy that these guys can have this platform to kind of showcase their skills. And I'm really proud of Roman that he's finally found his footing. He just plays this heel character to perfection. He always should have been a heel. He should have been a heel a long time ago, and I'll flat say that. Roman Reigns is the best thing, at least on SmackDown, right now. It's not even a fact. Once Roman Reigns leaves SmackDown is not that good of a show. And this is coming from a guy that has not been a fan of Roman Reigns for the past 5-6 years. After the Shield days, I got sick of Roman. If you watch my previous videos on Godzilla Hawk, on my YouTube channel, Godzilla Hawk, you guys would know that. But a lot of you guys are probably new, but yeah, I was not the biggest Roman Reigns fan. But Roman now is pretty damn cool. I'm a big fan of Roman Reigns. But at the end of the match, Roman Reigns hits that, grabs Roman, or not Roman, he grabs Daniel Bryan that guillotine headlock, and Bryan passes out. Roman beat Bryan clean. No Jey Uso, no Cesaro, no Heyman get involved, nothing. Roman just wins by pass out. And Roman grabs a couple of chairs. He looks like he's going to hit a concerto on Daniel Bryan. And all of a sudden, Cesaro comes out like a bat out of hell. And he uppercuts the shit out of Roman Reigns. God, I love Cesaro. Give the belt to Cesaro, please. He is long overdue with it. But Roman Reigns' cousin Jey Uso gets involved, attacks Cesaro. He ties him up in the ropes. And Roman Reigns makes Cesaro watch his friend take a concerto by Roman Reigns. What an evil prick. So clearly they're saying that Cesaro and Roman Reigns. More likely it'll probably happen at Backlash. That's what it seems like they're going with. But I honestly think Cesaro should be the guy to beat Roman Reigns. I really do. I do hope Cesaro is the one to beat Roman Reigns. I think he is. I know I talked about me Big E being the one, but Cesaro's long overdue. Give him his moment. Give him his moment. He deserves it. He deserves to have a run with that title. Please. But regardless, Cesaro and Roman Reigns, when that match happens, whether that's on Backlash, more likely, or somewhere down the road, that's going to be a great match. Cesaro is a fantastic worker. Roman Reigns is a great worker in his own right. Those two will have an excellent match.